Hello everyone and welcome back to round 4 of the iRacing NASCAR Cup series. This week out, we're here at Phoenix Raceway. Of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live from Las Vegas, yeah, unfortunately our first disappointing race so far of the championship. You know, we started the year with 2 fourth place finishes, both at Daytona and then, of course, Auto Club. Las Vegas last week, I got wrecked many times, far too early on in the race. Ended up a long way down, tried to recover, and then just there were so many cautions towards the end that I think I finished P25. I just could not close in the laps that I needed to towards the end of the day. But today, we're here at Phoenix, like I said, of course, a very weird little circuit. One that I do actually quite enjoy, though. 156 laps ahead of us, so it is going to be a long one here this evening. But hopefully we can keep it clean and tidy and try and get a good qualifying lap most of all. Final corner gets close to that wall as I dare, up over the line. It's going to be a 27.8 there, puts us provisionally in P4. Dayton down on a 27.5. Definitely felt like I could have been in towards the 6s there, but a 27.5 is a ridiculously fast lap time. But hopefully we can start near the front. Phoenix is just all about taking different lines and just trying to avoid cars nearby. Right, well, we are starting then on the inside of row 3, but of course this is the first race of, well, technically we're still 2023 Season 1, this is actually week 13, but loads of new updates have been brought to iRacing. I've got no idea how all the auto fuel stuff works, so we'll wait and see as to how that all plays out. We're just going to try and focus on keeping it clean early on in this race. Dayton leading us away at the front of the field, of course, has got to wait for that Geico restart zone heading out of the tricky turn 4. It's a weird old track, is Phoenix Raceway, but if we can get up the inside of the 2 nice and early on, that would be quite nice. Of course, I always like to go really down low out of the banking. We'll see what we can... Oh, that's not going to do us any favours. The perfect time for that sort of thing to happen there, as you can already see P2 trying to cover off there. It was super aggressive. Down over the pit entry, perhaps that's how he was able to get fastest, and we've already wrecked. That took 1 lap. I have done a couple of races around here before in the Cup cars. Phoenix is often early on a bit chaotic because people are just moving around way too much. I've got no idea why the FPS is so horrendously bad around this venue. I guess it's still trying to load a lot of cars, all very bunched up together. But pace car then in, 5 laps down, still 151 to go here from Phoenix. Hopefully we can actually, you know, I would not surprise me if we get another caution very quickly, but hopefully we can actually try and get some green flag running in at some point in the near future. Let's see if we can actually try and get a jump on the 2 this time. Will everyone disappear as we arc around the final corner once again? It's going to leave it a very long time that time round. Still, it's going to cut right back down here again. So at least we know that is the plan of action here today. So let's just try and get up the inside of the 2 then. Oh, leader. And we got another one. Of course we do. Why not, eh? And still, nothing. We cannot get a run past that 2, which I find quite funny. But come on, people. We've got to try and get at least 1 lap under green. Right. 10 laps completed then. Well, completed is certainly one way of describing it, but we are about to go green flag racing once again then. Still starting in P5. I don't think I've actually left this position at all so far this race. It's the 13 there, dropping back off our leader ever so slightly. Does not do any of us any favours. Heading out of the final corner though. We are going to go once again then. And let's see, can we get an entire lap of green flag racing around Phoenix? You can see there's already cars trying to go 3 wide.
You're on the inside.
We're just going to try and stay down low there. 29, feeling feisty early on in this race. I just want to try and look after the tyres early on here. You know, we are expecting a lot of cautions, but I think, you know, trying to manage the tyres as well, you know, give yourself a big opportunity late on in the day. As yeah, we've lost a couple of spots then. Clearly not as aggressive as perhaps I should have been then off that restart. But we've got a clean lap on the board. And that is really important. And it's gone. Well done, you two. And I'm back to P5. No, I think I'm 6th. That's a shame. I think I am P5 still. Well done to those two gentlemen. Well, despite losing a couple of spots then off the last restart, I mean, if people are just going to wreck each other, it doesn't really bother me as long as A, I don't get wrecked, and B, they completely wreck themselves. So I know one of those guys has rage quit there. I think he was the one that actually did the dumping rather than the one that got dumped, as I need to be down in the right gear. Let's go racing then once again. Green flag racing here from Phoenix. How many times am I going to say that over the course of tonight? Are we going to get a couple of laps worth of green flag running again? I've gained a spot, but I don't mind, to be honest, if he goes back round me, because I quite like starting these restarts on the inside, and I'm still not expected to go very long on a green flag running there. As you can see the 10 trying to look around the outside. Still there. Again, no, just trying to look after the tyres early on in this race, as I think I'll get the better of him actually through turn 4, so that's nothing that we can complain about all too much. Seems like it is only on the restart that people like to go really low then, so that's quite interesting. I've actually been doing... Oh, there we go. I was just about to say, I've actually been doing it throughout all the caution laps as well, just to actually try and save a tiny bit of fuel, because you never know when that's going to make the difference in a race like this. But we've got another one, and this time around we'll be starting on the outside. Right, well this time around then, restarting from the outside of row 2. We are slowly bringing the car in the right direction, but still just got to try and make sure we're keeping it clean and tidy. Still haven't had contact with anyone luckily or anything like that. And we should actually get a good spot on when the 28 goes as well, of course, starting on the outside just behind him. Let's just try and watch that 28 car then as we head through the banking. And I think there we go. 13 does not get a good restart, so we're going to try and get down below him.
3 wide, clear low.
I think the 3 wide. He will make it just about through.
Clear all around.
So there we go, we've got a jump on the 13 then, who just messed up his restart ever so slightly. But again, the real question is, of course, how long will we go green for? Leave your answer down in the comments below. Anything up to 3 laps is the current guesswork there, as I seem to struggle a bit through turn 2, but definitely seem to have a bit more confidence than many through turn 4 there. Don't know what that's all about, or whether I'm going to absolutely shred my tyres before many others do. But up into P3 then, wouldn't actually mind restarting on the inside of row 2, and we're going to start on the inside of row 2 then, off another restart. If this race keeps going at the pace it is, it's going to take us 2.5 hours. And remember, this is only a 50% distance race. A 5-hour NASCAR race around Phoenix would be pretty damn boring. I cannot believe there's people still waiting in the grandstands. I know we're only 20-odd laps in, but the fact we can't get 2 laps of clean running probably would be a problem for viewers. But, like I said, if we're siphoning off all the people that can't drive, then I can't complain too. I am slowly but surely moving myself in the right direction, but I think everything in this race so far is being done incredibly slowly. We've only got, I think, 25 cars on the lead lap, so I don't know how many more are actually still in the running here, but it would just be nice, you know, sort of get a 10, 15 lap. I know that doesn't even sound like a lot, but anything more than 2 would be quite nice for a green flag run then, all over the back of the 28 as we head through the final corner. Let's get this race going.
Green, 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 let's go.
Once again there, as well, we've definitely been caught out that time. Just waiting for me to get right on his bumper and have to lift out of it. But of course, it's probably not going to matter much when everyone wrecks inevitably into turn 3. Sorry, turn 2 even. We're not even making it that far around normally. Looks like top 3 of us have got a little bit of break this time around. Like I said, it is completely irrelevant, because give it another lap and someone else will be in a wall and we'll get another caution there. Again, still seem to be able to be a lot braver than most in towards turn 4. Either that or just for its slightly lower speed, perhaps. Of course, we're all just constantly teetering up a little bit.
Good lap. That's your quickest so
we've got
far.
1 green lap in, so show me the caution in just a second then, iRacing. It's bound to happen again, we all know it. To be honest, I was even starting to wonder whether early on whether it would be possible to do this entire race on a single tank of fuel with how many cautions we would go in. Don't say we're going to get 2 green flag laps of running. Oh my, what has happened here at Phoenix Raceway? I cannot believe the scenes that are on my screen at the moment there as someone's pushed the traffic off into the venue. It's the 4 car, definitely still struggling a little bit. Don't really want the leader breaking away too much too early there, as yeah, the 4 is a little bit all over the show. We'll see what he does over the next couple of laps. Just try not to take too much out of the tyres still, as there we go, I think people are now getting a bit more confident out of turn 4. That's the other thing you've got to remember is if you're cutting down on the, well, infield as such, I know it's not the infield, through the dog leg. Of course, it does mean you've then got to get further back up the circuit on the exit, so I think it's why some people don't like to do it. You know, if you're not feeling confident on trying to get the car slowed down, you know, you want that straight line, you want the most room to try and get it done. But early on, whilst the tyres are still fresh, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Also trying to join back up after the white line, because I think it's slightly flatter as well. I don't think you'll pick up splitter damage, but you never quite know. In these Cup cars, they're normally pretty, you know, hefty beings, but occasionally you do hit them with a dandelion and they get a little bit upset. So, you know, it is what it is, but we've actually had more than 2 laps of green flag running still, which I'm absolutely in shock over. And we actually now start to get some laps under our belt, you know, get some fuel data, things like that. We've got another one gone, but I definitely still feel like we can move past the 4 sooner rather than later here. Let's just focus up, try and see what I can find. I reckon he might be using 3rd gear there. I don't know why, but that engine just sounded to be revving incredibly high. I'm just leaving it in 4th gear right the way around. As can we trying to look around the outside perhaps through this final corner. There's a wall there. Got to be very, very careful. I don't think that's going to be the avenue to try anything, at least not at this stage of the afternoon. But yeah, I'm wondering whether he is changing gear. Actually, I don't think so. I mean, that's way too fast to be going through in 3rd gear, surely. But you know, people will try different things sometimes, especially in these lower ranked lobbies. I do desperately, you know, need to string together, you know, sort of 5-6 good results, and you know, get out of the 1.5k iRacing kind of region. You know, I definitely think, you know, I should like to believe I could be around the 2k mark. You know, sort of similar to my road license, because then of course we might actually get some better racing. And obviously Presto, that I've done a couple of these with, is in the 2k region, and it does seem like he does get less cautions than me, which might be quite nice. Again, we've got a bit of a run. Let's show the nose, see if we can just scare him a little bit. He will very much commit to the corner, but nothing to be done just yet. Nice, of course, once the field's starting to spread out a little bit, the fact I'm actually getting more than 7 FPS iRacing, a game that's based on a 20-year-old system, on an RTX 3090 or R9 5950X, and it still can't push frames at all. Oh, dearie me. It does look fairly good, though. I know, you know, people give it stick for not looking particularly great, but I'll tell you what, when you got it maxed out, you know, I have had people before think it might be a set of course of competizione, which I think is nothing but a compliment.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
Just before making a bit of a mistake. Can't believe that we're still green flag, to be completely honest, but maybe at some point, I think next time we do go caution, it might be worth starting to think about tyres. We've got 5 sets that we can get through today, so may as well, you know, try and use them at around 30 or 40 lap intervals. So yeah, I think this time around we'll definitely, next time we get a caution, we'll probably pit for fresh rubber, but that could be a little way away, with hopefully it'll be nice just to try and get, you know, I don't think we'll ever get anywhere near lap 100, but if we could sort of push on towards the 60 mark, that could be quite good. So that. Oh no, he didn't clip the wall. It was just a bit of desync. Did wonder then whether it might be worth trying to switch to the inside, get a run on him. I'll go for a bit of a dive, perhaps. Then just trying to get a bit braver. Whoa! Well, I was not expecting that. Oh no! Come on! Don't! What on earth? Why on earth did it try and get so loose on me? We've hung on to it, but we've certainly taken some out of the tyres. Let's just try and get back up onto the race circuit. That was weird, but we live to fight another day. But I think now we're floating right at the bottom of the top 10. Happy that we saved it. Oh, and they are wrecking. Don't come up, thank you. And now we've got a caution. Right, let's take some tyres, I think. If anything, that's definitely told me just to take some tyres. Surprised if people don't opt to pit under this caution. Yeah, it looks like everyone in front of me has had the same idea.
Is pitting. Watch your speed.
So let's just try and see if we can gain anything throughout the pit cycle. I don't even know where my box will be anywhere in this pit lane. There's 33 going slowly. Come on, nudge that throttle. Try and get past it. We've done it! We've made a move. Oh, slow down. Steady on, steady, easy, easy. Let's just wait and see. Where is my box? I don't even know what number I am, to be entirely honest. There we go. Getting a warning. First warning. Oh, we're right at the end. That's nice. So I've told them tyres and just a quick splash of fuel. Of course, may as well swap all four. Still early on in the day, but yeah, we'll see where we are. Ready for the next restart. But yeah, after one scary moment, we've learnt that this track will still bite. Starting then on this one from P6. So yeah, definitely gained a couple of places again, obviously through the pit stop, and of course got a couple when those cars wrecked. To be honest, that probably worked out quite nicely for me. They wrecked when they did, just because of course we were about to try and cool the tyres back down and everything like that. Bro, and the point of that was, don't know what his problem is, or whether he just doesn't quite know how to weave under a caution, but about to go green then.
Green flag, we're racing.
There we go, green flag racing. Come on, 24. And we have been absolutely boxed off that restart. Let's just try and keep it up near the wall.
Still there.
Hope that someone doesn't come up in towards me.
He's still there.
Car on the inside.
Hold your line.
Get round.
Clear low.
Wait and see. I think we'll just sit back for now. There is it. The 10 definitely not feeling quick off that restart after having that contact with myself. Someone sent it very deep into the corner behind me. Definitely won't be able to find any grip out there, my friend. There's the 25 now just in front of me. Everyone, of course, taking those different lines. I just don't quite know where you can come back up. So we'll try and get down the inside of him. Maybe the inside of the 24 as well. No, not quite that time round. So just trying. You know, this is the thing, of course, on such a flat oval, it's not like people can maintain a lot of momentum normally around the outside like that. You know, the camber just does not work with them. It's 24 definitely struggling as well a little bit there. I think everyone outside the top three is a little bit all over the show at the moment, but the fresh tyres are feeling nice. Hopefully, again, we can get another good green flag run in. But I would like to try and sort of start experimenting now with where some moves can be made, you know, just try and learn for later on in the day, you know, whether you can sort of dive, well, not quite dive down the inside, but have a look to the inside of someone through turn 4, or whether it's worth trying to, you know, get on the throttle, get high, and then swoop back down low with someone else rejoining. Not really a fun place to be, but we'll send it down the inside full of confidence. To the inside of the 24. He's still going to try and keep it there though. Give him some room. Big old squeeze, but we are through. We're back up then into P5 then of this race. No contact was made, so all clean and fair racing. There's someone else there rubbing down against the wall through turn 4. We're going to see the Ross Chastain strat coming out? I do hope not. As cool as it was, I'm happy that NASCAR have forced it to die. But anyway, Jet and Eugene just in front of me. Eugene actually a subscriber of mine, so had a quick chat before we jumped into the race, so nice to see him still fighting at the front. But yeah, Jet of course was the one that made contact with me under caution. Only a 0x luckily, but still, my car was spotless, showroom ready before he did that, as looks like our leader for the first time all day is starting to face a little bit of pressure from P2. Has pretty much led, I think he has led every single lap early on in this one, so interesting to see how he's going to cope there, Dayton, right at the front of the field then. Just trying to experiment, cutting in late through turn 4. Is that going to allow us to get a run on the 10? So we're trying to cut down low off the banking. It's going to give us a run to the inside. Is he going to be able to hook it up around the outside? He's certainly going to try it. Whoa, a little bit of contact again. So I think we're just kind of in the middle there. Are we going to be able to keep the nose on the inside through the final corner? We'll try and show the nose. Really sent in that time. See, myself on the 10. I wouldn't say quite that we're making enemies with each other early on, but we're certainly having some good, hard racing as we'll go back through. Of course, Phoenix is not really a track you want to make enemies at, though. Well, a storied history of championship ruining wrecks around this venue, of course, in the real-life Cup Series. Never, of course, in the spring race, but certainly, back when it was in one of, I think, the playoff 4 races, wasn't it? Sorry, no, the playoff 8 races, of course, just before the final 4. But then, of course, now hosts the final race of the season as well. But can we try and potentially look to move back past Eugene then, maybe get back up to those top 3? And whether it's worth trying to show ourselves as one of, if not the fastest car. Here we have actually got the fastest lap, 27.9. I had not spotted that prior to now. It was all Eugene very, very slow on the way in, but again, we'll just be able to hook up on the power on the way out there. Really got to be hitting. If I'm going down below the apron, I think I've got to be trying to get off there a little bit earlier than I have been, so I do not want to have some contact with Eugene. Let's see if we can try and get a good run though off of turn 2, which again we have done. I don't think we can really, he seems pretty confident at the moment. Now he's a little bit all over the road. Doesn't fill me with confidence at the moment. We'll try and get down low.
Car outside.
Plenty of room on the high side. So we'll try and hook it up around the outside. We'll try and just keep the nose there. Still going to try it.
He's still there.
I think he's just about got me off the corner. Fair play to him. Good, honest racing early on today. Like I said, oh, he's way too deep though. In through 4. That might be the opportunity I needed. We will slide on through then. So back up into the podium places. So we're almost at lap 60 then. So again, another decent run. Like I said, we kind of had to spend those first 20-30 laps clearing out all the people that don't know how to drive. It is a frustrating feature in this NASCAR Cup Series, at least early on in the season, but especially, of course, during normal week 13. You sort of get a lot of people that want to do an official race, maybe want to get their SR ready for promotion or try and save themselves from getting relegated. So you sort of think, oh, I'll jump in and do that with no practice and perhaps no recent experience of the next gen car. And of course, I've got no issue. It is still meant to be fun at the end of the day, but it's when people aren't clearly capable of driving these cars, and it's not to try and say that I'm massively good, but I can certainly go more than 10 laps without looping the thing. Maybe there's still just a bit of salt from me from Las Vegas last week where I got dumped twice in 10 laps by a guy that probably shouldn't
You've just
have been racing. We've got a couple of cars then battling just up in front. How are we going to cope with the first blue flags of the day? A little bit drifty. Steady on that.
Car outside. You clear high. P3. Safety car's coming out. Full course yellow.
There we go. Another caution. Is it worth taking new tyres again? I really don't know. 2 sets after 60 laps isn't horrendous. We've got a pace car by. Might be worth it, to be honest. These tyres already starting to slide around a little bit there. Look at the safety car with the Tokyo drift. What a baller. Right, let's see what our top 2 do. I'm definitely going to pit, but I'm going to try and announce it incredibly late as we head back down into the pit lane. And there we go. Everyone is pitting then, so everyone with the same idea. Get the car slowed down.
The leader,
Don't think we'll lose anything, but I can't imagine we'll gain anything either. Right, okay then, so we did actually get the jump on Andre even, through the pit cycle there, so we're now going to be the one trying to apply some pressure to Dayton as we head off this restart there. I feel like this could be a good test for us today, sort of see what our pace is like against the 28, you know, when we've hopefully got a fair fight watching him through the side netting there, try and see when he's going to go.
Green flag, we're racing.
There we go. Green flag racing, haven't done too badly off that restart. Let's just see if we can try and apply some pressure. In fact, it looks like the high side actually got a very, very good run off that restart. So I'll be again going to see him just take maybe a little bit out of his tyres early on there. I think I'm going to try and apply some pressure, so see what we can do, see if we can push the envelope. It would be nice to try and get a couple of laps there. Just see everyone Constantina up a little bit. This is how you get so many cautions around here. Because all it takes is one car behind. You know, I did just wonder for a second there where Eugene was going to go. And then of course it forces us right in towards the bumper. And we've got another one. Don't say we're going back to this as we get closer to the halfway stage. Right, let's try this again then. Pretty much like I said at the halfway stage of this race. And again, we're going to have to try and watch that 28 car through the roof netting. They'll try and make sure we get a good restart here once again. Don't get under any pressure from the number 4 car, but he does seem to want to leave it pretty much right to the end of the Geico restart zones every single time. So wait and see whether he does it again. So there we go. And that time around I haven't got anywhere near the restart that I needed there. Everyone else, of course, he's going to be able to swoop down low. I don't know where the number 4 is going to come back up. There he is, way in front of me. There is the 2 trying to get back involved as well. I haven't seen him in quite a while since the early laps. But yeah, we will lose the 1 spot then off that restart. So easy to do when you're on the outside. Oh, snagging the front tyres there slightly, just desperately trying not to make sure. I did not want to dump the number 4 car. Like I said, this is not a track where you want to make enemies so easy just to get wrecked later on in the day. And of course there is not much room to hide around this tricky little oval as well. But through the final corner, sorry, not even the final corner. Oh, hello, there's a wall there, Matt. It's been there all day. I don't know how I haven't spotted that, but now I've found it. Yeah, let's just focus up again, try and make sure that we settle down nicely. See if we can move back past the 4. But again, I just want to try and rack laps up. There we go, you can see the leader get quicker and quicker. 27.8 now is a phenomenal lap time. But of course, at some point soon, I might need to stop putting fuel in the car. That's the other thing we've got to remember into the second half of this race. I'm tempted just to do a couple of stints without refueling now, depending, of course, on when we get these cautions. If we get these cautions, says the optimistic part of my brain, but the realistic part says when. Someone heading back out then onto the circuit. They're going to head straight back down to the infield. Clearly saw us all coming and did not fancy a piece of that, and I don't blame them.
Last lap time was at 28.0.
Still not filling me with a lot of confidence, but to be honest, everyone is still just racing around with some different lines. I guess one of the good things is, of course, we have definitely one of the quickest cars here, because the field does tend to spread back out. I think we've only got sensibly 20 just over cars still running. It might sort of be around the 22, 23 mark. CP21 out on the venue, as we are now halfway there. 75 laps of fuel, so yeah, I don't think we're going to need to fuel again between now and the end of the race, of course, depending on how long we do go green. But that wall's still there. I haven't moved it. But yeah, I think we've just got to be a bit patient. You know, it's still a long old way to go here from Phoenix. Been racing now for pretty much an hour, if I'm not mistaken. So
Your lap time was
it's going to
28.3.
be a long old night here in the desert. But hopefully the second half will go a bit quicker than the first.
That lap was at 28.4.
Start experiment again with seeing if we can fill the 4 cars' mirrors as Dayton at the front definitely seems to be getting a little bit more sloppy.
You've just done a
See how lap
28.4.
times are of course just fluctuating around a little bit, but 28.5 is not a particularly competitive time there. Perhaps it would have been worth allowing the rear end to continue to slide into the apex there, but corrected it. But yeah, of course you've got to be so careful when you do correct the slides in these cars. Because occasionally, of course, they will just grip up and fling you at the outside wall. But yeah, still got to try and find a way around the 4 car. But I'm feeling fairly confident at the moment. Don't like to big myself up too much. Still with a long old way to go, but I think I want to start trying to see if we can apply some pressure right at the front there. See, fantastic run that time round. We'll have a look. Show the nose to the inside of the 4. Try and keep the nose there. No, we just about still. He's able to go a little bit later on the brakes than me.
Car down low.
But that's not going to do any favours. Big moment.
P2.
Careful over the bumps. And there we go. We're up into P2. Next
good
up,
consistency.
Dayton.
Keep it up.
Just keep trying to hit our marks. He's had that lead pretty much since the start. I want to try and take it away from him.
Brewer in. The gap is 0.7. Your lap time was at 28.6. That last lap was at 28.5.
Definitely the quicker car at the moment, but you never quite know whether he's just trying to save a little bit of his tyres or something like that. Oh, you can see it very slightly there as the 28. But again, just trying to cut off the dog leg every single time. This time around again, we'll fill the mirrors. Oh, you see he clips the apron. That's not going to do his tyres any favour there as he does gather it up. Very good job done there, sir. We'll get a run off of turn 3. We'll show the nose to the inside.
Got a car high.
I don't think he wants to fight it.
Still there.
We will, I think, for the first time today, go into the lead here at Phoenix. Now, of course, the question is, how long can I hold on to it? As I think next caution... Oh, he's binned it! Oh, he's binned it! Completely looped it there over the bumps. And will that bring out a caution? It's just the one car, so as long as no one else gets involved in it, that certainly does, to be honest, for me, a lot of favours. And he's gone! Completely! So big error there from Dayton, loses the lead, hits the bumps, and immediately goes round, and now we've got a 2-second lead over Lewis behind, and unless there's someone hiding in the woodwork there, I do feel like we are in a rhythm. so good getting a bit more confident in
That
the
was
car.
at
There's still
28.8.
over 60 laps to go of this event, and I've just suddenly remembered what happened to me last year here at Phoenix. I had a race pretty similar to this. We were looking very, very comfortable at the front of the field, and I got disconnected with about 30 laps to go, and it completely ruined my night. I've never won a NASCAR Cup Series race in the iRacing fixed, but you know, it's still a pipe dream for now. There's a long way to go this afternoon. I certainly can't think about it just yet, as that's a nice gentle reminder as to why.
Norton is reeling you in. The gap's now 2.3 seconds. You've just done a 29.0.
Just seen the message from Eugene there, Matt Wilding up in the lead. It doesn't happen often on iRacing, but when it does, I certainly do enjoy it there. But yeah, Lewis behind, he's taking a fair old chunk of time out of me at the moment, so we've just got to try and keep making sure I'm hitting my laps, doing what I'm doing, but actually just, you know, sort of pushing the pace a little bit. So we're getting closer and closer to lap 100. Yeah, Lewis is definitely quicker than me at the moment. Have I just pushed a bit too hard, perhaps, on these tyres over the last few? Only time will tell. Should probably check the fuel at some point as well, see how that's doing. But at the moment, I just want to focus on, you know, manhandling this thing around this venue. So there we go. Lewis thinks made a bit of a mistake, or been caught up behind a lapped car. The gap opens up to 3.
Norton is getting closer. The gap is now 3.2 seconds. That lap was a 29.4. Yellow flag, safety car is out.
Oh, there we go. Another caution. That works out quite nicely for me. We will take tyres. There is no need for fuel, though, pretty much between now and the end, unless, of course, we end up getting some other stuff going on. This is good. Well, I've got no idea what's going on at the moment. The 10 car is not getting out of the way. We've been told to close up to the 14 car. I got no idea what's about to happen then off this restart. Just telling me to stay on the inside line. I don't really know what's happening here, but apparently we're about to go green flag racing once more. This is one of the strangest restarts I've ever seen on iRacing, but I guess we've
let's
go. I don't know what's happening. What on earth is that? One of the most janky restarts I think I've ever seen on the sim. The 4 car's going to get a run on me.
Hold your line.
What on earth? Did iRacing just give up being
Still
functional there? I don't really know. Oh, the 30's going to box
Still
me in.
there.
I don't know why.
We're
Come
up
on.
by 3 wide.
How am I going to get wrecked
Still
here with
there.
3 wide? Come on, 30, back out of it, please.
Hold your line.
There we go.
They're
Luckily
inside.
it does. Oh, we'll swoop through, and somehow we've gone around the outside of the pair of them. I don't know what's happened off that restart, but somehow we're still in the lead. Now let's just try and focus up. I want to try and get to about lap 140 on this set of tyres if possible. But we'll wait and see there. Don't really want to try and set too many targets like that at the moment. It would be nice to try and carry one set if there's a late race caution or something like that. But I think at the moment we've just got to try and keep doing what we're doing there, as pretty much now at 2/3 distance of this race. Just try and see if we can build up a little bit of a gap there. Lewis, of course, we noticed how quick he is.
That lap time was 27.8.
Andre as well, of course, still another, not quite an unknown necessarily, but still a very, very quick car.
quickly setting the pace. You've just done a 27.9.
So there we go, new fast lap of the day. That's what we love to see. Almost down into the 27.7s, but let's just try and make sure that I'm not taking too much out of the tyres.
You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now 0.9.
If we can just let those cars behind us battle out for a while, that would be good. Yeah, if I can just sort of build up a 2-3 second buffer. I'm sort of very worried about the pace that Lewis has got, but yeah, like I said, if we can build up a buffer, that would be good, but I think he's about to make the move work on Andre.
Last lap time was at
So he
27.9.
might be under some big pressure. That being said though, Andre is quite the fighter and doesn't appear to have given up on it just yet. This is all helpful for me. So of course, if they take a bit more out of their tyres as well, I can put a bit of a gap and start winning on both ends. Come on, less than 50 laps to go.
That last lap was at 28.1. The gap behind is now 1.5.
So it'd be nice if we got another sort of 35-40 lap run. But I'm not going to hold my breath as the gap is still going up ever so slightly. 1.3. Andre is still in front. This is beautiful for us. That wall's still there, Matt. I don't know why I keep hoping it's moved, but it certainly won't, and my car will.
Last lap was at 28.2. The gap behind is now 2.1.
Down in the wall. Hopefully they don't get in the way. Round our way through turn 4 again. 44 laps to go here from Phoenix. This could take as little as just over 20 minutes, but as long as about 45 minutes. If it's anything like the early laps here this afternoon. But yeah, the competition really has thinned out, which I think has been probably quite a good thing for those, or most of us, that are still running, because I said, you know, it does seem to be the problem that I get week in, week out at the moment, that early on it's just caution after caution after caution. You survive that, you kind of do then get some decent racing for a little while there. We'll try and take a little bit of Slipstream off Ignacio. I think I have raced them before so far this season. So where's the 7 going? Down the middle apparently. That's where we're going to end up. Come on. Oh, a lot of understeer. A little bit slidey. The gap's still opening up, and Andre still hanging on ahead of Lewis. This is lovely, lovely stuff for us. There is the 7. Of course, we're on the fresh tyres. We are not, so trying to match them might be a little bit of a risky mission. But I just don't want to sit in the dirty air for the rest of the day. That wall still won't move.
That lap time was 28.7. The gap behind's increased to 2.9.
There's still a long way to go this afternoon as Christopher's left, but would have been interested to see how the race could have gone between myself and Dayton. It was a shame that it was literally as soon as I jumped him, he dropped it over the bumps there. Of course, hadn't been taking that line anywhere near as often as I had, so clearly wasn't confident in the way the car was going to handle it, and as the tyres go off, I've got to be more careful with it, but pace is still looking good. We're still bringing the gap the right direction there. It was 2.7 now, the gap over Andre behind. And like I said, you know, if they keep battling, hopefully they'll be taking each other's tyres with them. And hopefully, of course, the gap can continue to open up ever so slightly. Of course, I have still got 2 spare sets of tyres, so if we've got another caution anywhere really from now, we could then pit. And know, of course, that if we got a really late one, we could then take another fresh set. Or, of course, just get to the end quite safely. But I think next caution, I will be bolting on a fresh set of tyres again. But, of course, as always, no more fuel needed.
You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 3.2 seconds. That was at 28.9.
Down on the side there. Still, I've got to be careful of those blue flags later on in the day as we come round to finish off lap 120 of 156. 36 more laps to go as you see the car getting a little bit more slidey.
That was at 28.9.
What would happen if this did go green to the end, and whether it would be worth taking tyres. I'm convinced it will, of course. I think as obviously everyone's tyres goes off, someone will get loose and bin it at some point. I've just got to make sure I'm not that someone. Smoke down at turn 4, sorry, turn 3 even. There was a big gaggle of cars there, so someone might have issues. Right up close to that wall on the exit, but again, trying to make sure I'm swinging down low early enough. It's got to be going slowly. I think he's trying to peel into the pit lane. It is Ignacio, so clearly still having issues today. But into the pits they go. One less car for me to worry about. Going now, I perhaps need to drive like I've got to get these tyres to the end as, oh, looks like Lewis has dropped off. No idea what's happened, but up to 4 seconds now ahead of Andre. Definitely don't feel under so much pressure from the 4 as I did from, I can't remember what number he was to be completely honest, but he might have looped it round. He might just have had some other issues there as well. Really, you can see there sliding the car into the corner off the rear axle. You can only do that so many times. So yeah, these rears are definitely starting to go. It's just a case of seeing whether anyone else pits. Running a bit slow. Get to the inside. Thank you, Bob. Trying not to make my life too difficult. I do genuinely steady, steady, steady. These things, when they get loose on dead tyres, you just feel like they've got nothing at all underneath them. I really do wonder whether we are going to have to make a green flag pit stop at some point soon. I wonder if... No, it's definitely not what Lewis has done, but of course... just don't want to do it in case someone else wrecks. But surely
behind is now 4.9
it's going to happen soon if these tyres keep handling like this. Just keep it on the island. No risks, man. We've got 4.4 seconds. We do not need to take any risk at the moment. There's less now than 30 laps to go. We can start seeing a few more cars struggling.
The lap time was at 29.6.
So lap times are going up. There was one car last lap that still set 29, and that was Lewis. I reckon, to be honest, if we get within the final 20 laps or so and we still haven't had a caution, it might be worth pitting in, even if we just lose a couple of spots temporarily. Yeah, I think, of course, because we've got that bit of time advantage, we might still be able to make back up for time. As
clear outside.
Very close to the apron there. I really don't know what to do at the moment. Do we just hang it out unless we get a caution? I mean, if we get a caution, we are pitting. But if not, do we just keep hanging it out here? Do we wait for anyone else to pit? I don't know.
You've just done it, 29.7.
Don't even know how much time you'd lose taking a pit stop
yellow.
around here.
Safety car's
Oh, perfect. That really does do me a favour at the moment. So we'll take fresh tyres again. Again, no need for fuel, but yeah, unfortunately, of course, the one downside of that is it is going to bunch back up the roster. What? When did I pass under yellow? I made sure the safety car was still ahead of me. Oh no, not again. So we've got a 30-second stop go after this restart. We're going to need another couple of cautions before the end of this race, otherwise we are in a world of hurt. I cannot believe that. Late on in the day, I made sure that the safety car was still in front of me, but this might really hamper us. And I'm too far forward as well. That is so annoying. Like I said, I made sure the safety car was still in front of me. I don't know who on earth it thinks we were ahead of, but I certainly couldn't spot anyone, and now we are going to lose a lot of places. Right, well, about to go green then once again with just over 20 laps to go of this race. I mean, basically what we're going to hope for as soon as we start serving that penalty is that someone gets another caution out, but yeah, I really do think this race might just have come away from us late on in the day. I've got no idea who it thinks I jumped, but yeah, like I said, we're just going to have to stay down low as we head through turn 3, serve the penalty, and just try and pray that we get another couple of cautions before the end to bunch everyone back up. But even then, we're going to be right down at the rear of the field. Let's go once again then. 4 has not gone very well, which will get us to the inside of the 2, but of course it makes no difference. I've got no idea what keeps telling me abnormal lap invalid, but we'll just get this thing into the pit lane. So we'll try and slide it in there right down on the pit wall, but
look out for the
slow down, to be honest. I don't think I could have done much of a better in lap than that. But yeah, now I've got to really hope as soon as I start serving the penalty that people wreck each other here late on in the day. I've told it not to take fuel or tyres, so it should just serve the penalty. We've got to hold for 26 seconds, but yeah, it's so annoying late on in the day when it looked like this could finally have been my big break. It might be that Phoenix is 2 years running a track that just goes away from me there. As come on now, someone wreck. Someone bring out a caution, I beg. It's not going to happen. We're going to go a lap down here. Oh, dearie me. All we can hope for is a couple of cautions and, you know, that we get a lucky dog. But I'm not going to hold my breath. There's other cars on the same lap as me as well. This is an absolute disaster there. There's something definitely happened to Lewis, though. He's dropped back quite rapidly. But, I mean, there's like 12 cars still on the lead lap. I've got no idea what this race has really been one of attrition, but let's try and get back out and not go 2 laps down.
Clear. Don't cross the white line.
Come on, stay out ahead of those front runners, which we will just about do. So we need 2 more cautions before the end of this to try and save us, but I'm not convinced that's going to happen in the final 18 laps here, and don't really want to be the person to start bringing them out, to be completely honest as well. We'll wait and see. I'm not going to hold my breath. Might well go green right from now to the end, to be completely honest. As David there, I think he is the one that we're battling with. No, so Sergio's pit, I think, as well then. So we just need 1 caution, and that might be enough for us. I think Sergio, yeah, is in the pit lane, but I've got no idea. Let's just drive fast and see what happens.
Matching race pace.
I don't think Sergio's been there. I think he's just having some connection issues to race labs. So I'm not convinced we're going to get what we need at the moment. Come on. Please, just give me something, iRacing.
27.9. Matching race pace.
Got some good pace. Also matching race pace. We would have been one of the quickest cars here all day. 16 laps to go, though. I don't think we're going to get the lifeline that I so desperately need. Nudge the wall. Anything can change very, very quickly, though, in NASCAR. As, yeah, Sergio is losing over a second a lap to me. So maybe we can try and just get a bit closer. We may as well just keep pushing and then pray for a safety car in the final few laps. But even then, we're going to be right down towards the rear of the field. Apparently now it's Calhoun that's the car in front of me. I've got no idea. No idea whatsoever. Here's my good friend Eugene, back out on the circuit. I know he's very, very damaged, but nice to see the Menard's car back on the venue, but gutted for him as well. 13 seconds. 13 seconds back off Duarte. Let's just keep trying to close him in.
That lap time was 27.9. You're matching race pace, this is good. Consistency, keep them coming. You're reeling, Duarte, in. The gap's now 10 seconds.
10 seconds to Duarte. We might still get him before the end of this race, but just taking everything out of the tyres. Of course, if I jump him and then we get a caution, we'll of course be the lucky dog, but it's about how long it'll take me to jump him will probably
that was
not give us another caution. So frustrating. So frustrating late on in the afternoon for it all to come away from us 2 years in a row here at Phoenix, but I'll probably just get the car to the flag.
Your lap time was at 28.3. The next car is Duarte.
Just nice to see him on my relative, to be honest. He set 30.4 last time, so clearly struggling. I think he's in that gaggle of cars just up the road, but we've got...
You're reeling, Duarte. The gap
front.
is now 6.0.
Yep, 6 seconds. We can definitely still get him before the end, but we've still got some other cars to navigate. Let's try and get down low on this
Car
one.
high. Still there,
There.
they're outside.
We'll make it through, and there we go. There is Duarte now on my relative. Sergio, as he's also known, as 26 going to try and come back at me. Of course, he is still a lap ahead of me, but we are much, much quicker at the moment. But we just need to get ahead of Sergio and then get a caution if we want any chance still late on at this thing. I mean, even if it just gives us a chance to try and get back in the top 10, that's how hard we're pushing. A 0x again for our troubles here late on in the afternoon. But let's just try and get this thing to the flag. I mean, the 0x race might do me some favours, to be completely honest, but it's still so annoying. 7 laps to go as we cross onto lap 150. It looks like Andre's still under a lot of pressure at the front of the field there. Thank you very much to Eugene again for letting me by. 2 seconds now to Duarte. Come on, there he is right there. So much quicker at the moment. He's probably got damage or something like that. But it's just in case we get a caution late enough in the day. Try and capitalise, take that lucky dog, and then of course, you know, we are still the quickest car on track at the moment, I want to say. Let's just see how much time we're closing in. 1.5 seconds now the gap. It will continue to plummet there as 5 laps to go here at Phoenix. Come on. Come on, iRacing. Just give me something, anything, to give me some hope late on in the day. Once I've made this pass, we can only then pray for a caution. So close to the outside wall. Cut down.
Car outside.
Just gotta get it back
He's
out.
still there.
No, in a word. Just get that
He's still
forward
there.
slightly.
Still there. Clear high.
He's going to be the one we should have followed there.
Car low.
27 up and through.
Hold your line. Clear inside.
Try and dive in towards this final
Inside.
corner.
3 wide.
Try and go down the middle. Whoa, there is contact.
Clear low.
Get a 0x for our troubles again, but we're through.
V13.
Now if we got a caution, that could work out wonderfully for us there. Having to try and get the elbows out as best as possible. 2 more to go though. I don't think it's going to happen. It's kind of frustrating me just how big of a gap we've been able to pull over the leaders as well. Got to show just how quick our pace has been here.
It's now 1.8 seconds.
Again, it'll have to be another opportunity that goes missing in the iRacing NASCAR Cup series. I really wanted to believe that perhaps today could be the day that we got that first dub, but this series is brutal. Brutal at the best of times there. As around the outside will go
Clear,
off
got
the
car
10.
low. He's still there. Clear inside.
Around, yes we will. And I think the leaders are therefore on to the final lap of this race. We've got slow cars off. Don't know whether that's going to give us any hope. I don't think so. White flag's out. Another 0x. Whoa, where's he off? He's wrecked it again. But I think P13 is all we're going to be able to get here. So we round our way through. Yeah, 12th is still just behind me. That actually gave us a 4x on the final lap. We were going to have a 0x race. Someone else going slowly. It's all kicking off, but round in the final corners here from Phoenix, this one really does hurt at the final turn. This should have been a win tonight, but it's going to be P13 then in the end. We did take
P13.
fastest lap, which
Okay,
I suppose
we're
is a
done.
very, very small consolation prize, but oh, that one is painful. Let's go take a look at those final results. Right, well, having a look then at our final race results. 0.9 SR is not bad going when all is said and done, but only 27 iRacing gain was really not the evening I could have done with there. Andre only led 25 laps towards the end, but they were 25 that he absolutely needed to there. We led 45, and then you can see it was Dayton that led 86. So yeah, only 3 leaders throughout the entirety of that event. But we will come back stronger. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we aren't going to give up. We want that first Cup Series win.